Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is May 5th, 2010. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all of you guys out there. I don't know if you guys are vacationing or celebrating, but it is the 5th of May. And someone yesterday told me, or I saw it somewhere, that it was Happy Star Wars Day. And I was like confused. I was like, what does that mean? And then since it was May 4th, the quote was, "May the 4th be with you," and therefore it was called Star Wars Day. Anyways, kind of dumb, I know, but I thought it was kind of funny at the same time. May the 4th be with you. That was yesterday, Star Wars Day. So belated Happy Star Wars Day to all of you, and a current Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into today's update. I have opened my 15-minute, my 4-hour chart. Now, I'm going to open up my 4-hour chart so I can look at what my trend is, and I've moved it back to before midnight so you can see what it looks like. Now, our most recent trend change candle was back here on the 2nd of May, and it's for a downtrend, and since then we haven't had any new trend change candles. Therefore, at the start of our day, our trend is down, and we're only looking for short trades. Now, if I move forward through today's action, you can see no new trend change candles were formed during our trading session. Therefore, the trend remained down, and we only looked for short trades. Now, question was, what if the indicators aren't oversold or whatever they're doing? It doesn't matter what the indicators do. And the only time we look at the indicators is if we have a possible trend change candle. But after the trend change candle is established, it doesn't matter what these indicators are doing. You still take the trade in the direction of the trend. So today, only looked for short trades. Again, pretty simple when there's no trend change candles in the middle of your session. So simple enough. Today is only short trades. So I'm at my 15-minute chart and I moved it back to before midnight. But before I start, I do want to take a look at my news events. So you can go to babypips.com, click on the Tools tab. Alright, and it'll automatically pull up the news events for the day, but just double check it. Today is May 5th. Make sure this time zone drop-down bar is set to your correct time zone. For me, it's -4. And we're looking for news that affects the UK or the US because that's the currency pair we're trading. So under this currency column, I'm looking for anything that says GBP for the pound, the British pound, and or USD, which is for the US dollar. And so if I go down, I see at 4:30 I do have PMI for construction for the UK. If I go down, I have a couple of US things, NBA mortgage application and Challenger job cuts. Now, these aren't really important, so I don't regard these as something to watch for. It is there, but again, it's not really a major news event, so I'm not even going to regard these. So I'm just simply going to skip over those ones. But at 8:15, we did have the ADP employment change. That is pretty noteworthy, so I'll jot that down, 8:30. And then at 8:30, we have a couple of speakers speaking. Now, I'm not really going to regard this as anything because it's not Bernanke. If it's not Bernanke, then for the most part, I will not regard it as a major news event. So even though this is listed, again, I'm skipping this because it's not Bernanke speaking. Now, if we go down to 10, we do have the ISM non-manufacturing composite, and that I will take a note of. So just to recap, 4:30, 8:15, and 10 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm jotting that down on my notepad. You can do the same thing, or you can set an alert or some kind of alarm to let you know when those are coming out, because you don't want to be in the market during news events. Okay, so now that I have my news times handy, I know I'm only looking for short trades. I can begin my day. So I'm going to move my chart forward one candle at a time and give you my thought process along the way. And the goal is here to get you to start thinking like I think when it comes to trading the system. That way you know you're trading it correctly. And when you can do that, then you're on the right track. Then you're free to start experimenting, tweaking, or maybe even developing your own trading system. Or you can trade this one and add it to your trader's tool belt, if you will. Alright, so I'm moving forward. And here, right in the beginning of our session, we do get a crossover. RSI is below 50, stochastic trending down. MACD was positive from the previous candle and losing value. So this is a valid entry. I think this is at 12:15, so we don't have any news until 4:30. So this is okay to take. So I'll enter at the close of the candle or as close to it as possible, and in this case it's 51.24. Our stop will be at the most recent swing high at 51.46, and our target will be at the near 0 or 50 level. In this case it's at 5100. Gives us about 24 pips of potential profit, and so now I'll just watch the trade. And you can see that right here it gets to 51.46 and it just nips us out. So unfortunately we do get stopped out right there, just barely, but you know, what can you do? And if you didn't get stopped out right when it nicked, you would have gotten stopped out on the very next candle anyways. But we did happen to get stopped out, which is unfortunate, but again, you just jot that down in the books and continue to move on. Can't dwell on the past. You just gotta record it and continue to move forward. Now we do get a crossover here. Our size below 50. Stochastics are trending down. MACD was positive on the previous candle and it's losing value. So by all means, this is a valid entry. Now let's look. This is at 3:45, which means it closes at 4. I know news is coming out at 4:30, and that is only 30 minutes of room for our trade to take place. And I do want to be aggressive here because I did see a nice trend yesterday, but when I'm aggressive, I usually still like to have at least 45 minutes of trade time, and this is just kind of cutting it close because it only gives us about 30 minutes. So in this case, I'm not going to enter because it is close to that 4:30 news. So no entry for me here. There's the 4:15 candle, and there is the news candle. So again, you don't want to be too aggressive. Even when I am aggressive, I like to have at least 45 minutes. If I'm conservative, then I'd like to have at least an hour of room for my trade to marinate, if you will. So I'm still continuing to watch it. Now here, we do get a crossover. Our size below 50. Stochastics trading down. MACD was positive on the previous candle and turned negative on this candle. So again, another valid entry. Let's see. This opens at 7:15 and closes at 7:30. I do have news at 8:15. That gives us about 45 minutes of trade time, and I am in aggressive mode because of that nice trend that I saw yesterday. So I am going to go ahead and enter this one. I am being a little aggressive, and again, it's 45 minutes at least, so I'm going to be like, okay, I'll take my chances, and regardless of where I am, I'm going to exit my trade once the news comes around at 8:15. So whether or not I'm positive or negative, I will exit, but I'm going to go ahead and enter here. I enter at the close of the candle at 51.45, or my stop will be at the most recent swing high at 51.72, and our target will be at the nearest 0.50 level. In this case, it's again at 5100. And again, I'm going to exit right before 8:15, no matter what happens. So here's 8 o'clock right here. Now my target isn't hit. I know news is coming out at 8:15, so I'm just going to go ahead and close out at this candle, which is at 51.12. So it didn't quite hit our target, but it was a small profit, and it's a win. But no matter what, I'm just going to exit because I know news is coming out on the next candle. So there is the 8:15 candle, and unfortunately it did go in the direction of our trade, but you can't always bet on that. So stick to the rules and just exit before the news. And then if you just continue to move forward, you can see the price moved back up. It's 11:30, and so there's the end of our trading session. So we had a couple of trades. It's a little bit choppy there until the kind of the end or the beginning of the U.S. session, right before it. But again, follow the rules. Hopefully you got the same things I did. If not, ask your questions. I'll try to answer them as best as I can, or post it in the forums, and I'm sure somebody, one of the other Cowabunga traders, will try to help you out as well. So that's it for today's update. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all on the next one. Cowabunga, dude.